Hey there, I'm Sage and you're watching D&D Daily, where we release new D&D content every day. If you're looking for D&D inspiration or information, then you are in the right spot, because today we are talking about the high-flying, lightning-diving pirate of the skies, the Thunderbird. In order to play the Thunderbird, you're going to want to be an Aarakocra Storm Sorcerer. The Thunderbird is from an island several miles off the mainland. The Aarakocra who lived there were adapted to the marine lifestyle and were the apex predators of the island. Having the ability to fly and being specifically adapted for the sea makes these Aarakocra particularly useful for a pirate crew. Because of this, the local pirates often try and recruit these Aarakocra to their pirate crews, in return for technology that the island just doesn't have that the mainland does. And because of this relationship, the island's technology is slowly but surely catching up with the rest of the world's. The Thunderbird was recruited under one such arrangement to a crew, and grew to love the open sea. Not understanding the broader world, the Thunderbird never really took issue with pillaging. He didn't see it as a morally wrong thing to do, it was just what they did. And this continued until a massive storm overtook their pirate vessel. The ship was wrecked and the crew drowned. But having the ability to fly gave the Thunderbird a chance to escape. Though difficult to fly through this tumultuous rain and this storm, the Thunderbird struggled until a wicked bolt of lightning struck him down. Expecting to be dead, the Thunderbird was surprised to learn that not only did he survive, but the lightning bolt somehow was within him still. He could draw on its power to summon lightning magics. With his newfound powers, the Thunderbird is off to find new crews and new adventures to take part of. When it comes to the Thunderbird's personality, he is chaotic in nature. He loves his freedom and he loves to do exactly what he wants. Boundaries are for those who can't fly. He can just pass right over your boundary. You build a fence, you build a wall, he's just gonna fly right over it. He has a particular love for raw fish. He often would go fishing by diving into the water, grabbing a fish, and flying out. And this taste has stayed with him. He also is able to let go of the past remarkably well. He doesn't get too attached to any one thing, and he just seems to always be in the present, never really focusing too far in the past or too far in the future. He is there. He is also spontaneous. He is going to just kind of randomly go with his whims and run with it. Like a storm, he blows this way and that. In combat, the Thunderbird is a mobile blaster and crowd controller with an emphasis on lightning and thunder damage. He uses Aarakocra's naturally high speed to maneuver in and out of the fray. Lightning Lure is his favorite cantrip. Because he can fly directly above an enemy, casting Lightning Lure. If they fell on their save, now they'll be pulled 10 feet into the air, take the lightning damage, then be dropped back onto the ground, dealing more damage as well as knocking them prone. Lightning Lure is also useful when combined with Quicken Spell. The Thunderbird can use this cantrip to pull people into some of his bigger AoE spells, such as Shatter or Lightning Bolt. Part of being a Storm Sorcerer is the Tempestuous Magic feature. Whenever you cast a leveled spell, you gain 10 feet of movement speed and get to disengage as part of the spell. Storm Sorcerers also get the Heart of the Storm feature, which on top of granting resistance to lightning and thunder damage, allows you to deal half your level in lightning damage to anyone you want within 10 feet whenever you cast a leveled spell that deals lightning or thunder damage. To take advantage of these features, we need a low-level spell that deals lightning or thunder damage. Chromatic Orb fits this niche perfectly because it can do either lightning or thunder damage, and it deals solid damage to boot. If you fly into a group of 3 or more enemies, Thunderwave will be a better choice over Chromatic Orb, but since we're so limited on spell selections, you'll probably want to choose one or the other. Personally, I would go with Chromatic Orb because it's more versatile. Other standout spells for this playstyle are Shatter, Lightning Bolt, Thunderstep, and Chain Lightning. The Thunderbird is never holding still. He is too squishy to be close to enemies, but his abilities activate while being close. This means he has to weave in and out of battle, setting up combos and forcing his enemies to feel his thunder. Out of combat, the Thunderbird's ability to fly makes him an excellent scout and great at handling tasks that require vertical mobility. He can also act as the party's face and enjoys putting his clever wit to use. The Thunderbird's downtime is his free time. He likes to do what sounds good in the moment. He is spontaneous and may not consider the consequences of his actions. Overall, he uses his downtime to have fun. The key mechanics of playing the Thunderbird is that his charisma and constitution are his only truly important stats. A bit of wisdom for scouting definitely wouldn't hurt, but those are the two you need to focus on. A super niche ability is that the Thunderbird on a ship can make the winds go in the perfect direction, and it also creates this bubble where like any storm won't affect the ship. So it's really niche, but if you're in a nautical campaign, it'll come up often. Quickened, Heightened, and Empowered Spell are the meta magics that stand out most to me. If you're dropping a huge spell slot, you want to make sure that they fail their saving throw. If you roll low on damage, you're going to want to change that outcome. And as mentioned before, being able to combine a cantrip with your spells can be an awesome 1-2 combo. If I had to choose just one as the signature meta magic for the Thunderbird, I would go with Quickened Spell. Not only can it set up combos, but it can also be used like a pseudo cunning action, or action surge. It's also appropriate for the mobile caster to be using quickened spells. Know that the spells required to take advantage of the Storm Sorcerer's abilities aren't the most effective spells in the game. There is a chance that this character is weaker than a base sorcerer that chooses the more optimal spells. That said, the sorcerer won't get to enjoy a highly mobile playstyle the way the Thunderbird can. So you may be a bit weaker, but at least you're unique, and at least you're flavorful, and at least you're using your subclass. The weaknesses of the Thunderbird start with him being squishy as all hell. He has low HP and AC. He will not withstand a concentrated attack for long. Close quarters combat absolutely wrecks the Thunderbird, which is why his build revolves around getting in and then getting out. Emphasis on getting out. Of course, those immune to thunder and lightning damage completely negate his niche, and you'll have to adjust accordingly. Single target ranged specialists, such as an archer, can also shoot him out of the air really effectively, being able to focus him despite his high mobility. As an NPC, I would use the Thunderbird as a sea-based encounter during a storm, probably with swashbucklers. The pirate ship would approach using the storm as cover, and even in the dead center of the storm, the ship would have a bubble of protection where no rain or wind seem to affect it negatively. Whereas the PCs have to deal with wind, rain, lightning, waves, the enemy ship seems to be only helped by the storm. This would all come into the moment where your party ship would enter the bubble that the Thunderbird is creating, and all of a sudden the storm settles and the ship would pull up next to them, and from there I'd have the combat begin. I would start it out with a bunch of swashbucklers swinging from the ropes of the enemy ship onto the party ship, and from there the Thunderbird would take flight over the ship, using the chaos to its advantage. I would definitely make sure that this fight had a sense of verticality, being able to climb up the masts, or allowing the party to go below deck, giving the fight layers to enjoy. Past that, just use the Thunderbird's basic tactics of hit and run, line them up, and knock them down style of combat, which his swashbucklers also kind of do a similar thing with their hit and runs. And lastly, make sure that there are plenty of ropes hanging around the deck that the swashbucklers can swing around on to create a very dynamic combat. The key note to hit with the Thunderbird is a highly mobile spellcaster. It's not something we see often outside of Misty Step, so the Thunderbird really gives us a chance to approach this game in a different way. I also think that when you combine your mobility and ability to move enemies around to set up perfect lightning bolts, that moment has got to feel pretty amazing. Thank you so much for watching this video until the very end. We appreciate you taking the time to do so, and we want to hear from you. What would you do to make the Thunderbird more special, more flavorful, or more impactful to the game? Let us know in the comments below. You can also let us know what you thought of this video by giving us either a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Either way, it's going to help us know what kind of content you're looking for. And on the next episode of D&D Flavor Builds, we're going to be talking about the changeling who refuses to change, Vanglorious. Hit the subscribe button because you're not going to want to miss it. See you next time.